Tired of shows that bark and scream at you? This is the show that speaks to you.
Here's the game plan.
It's the Big E Sports Extravaganza, where we go inside the issues, present a variety of topics, and feature some of the biggest sports guests on the planet. Now, here's the one and only, award-winning Elissa Walker Campbell.
Hey, Elissa Walker Campbell, I want to welcome you back to the Big E Sports Show. You can connect with us anywhere online on X, at eRadio Sports, and Instagram. The PGA Tour season finale, it is underway right now at East Lake Golf Club, where the game's best are battling for the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup. East Lake, I would say it's got a special place in our family's heart. Stephen, my oldest son, helped Oklahoma capture the 2021 East Lake Cup Collegiate Championship. And about a month ago, we returned from the course where our youngest son, Elissa Walker Campbell, made his commitment to Georgia Tech, literally on the 10th tee. Joining us this weekend to talk some PGA news and notes and all that's going on in the world of golf is professional golfer, proud OU alumnus, and that is my son, Stephen Campbell Jr. Welcome back to the program, son.
Thanks, Mom. Glad to be on. Excited for today.
You bet. Well, let's lead off and let's talk some PGA news and notes. And as I just mentioned, the Tour Championship Round 2, it is underway right now at East Lake. What has caught your eye during the opening stages? And how about Minwoo Lee with that opening round, bogey-free 62?
Yeah, it's a fantastic round, especially out at East Lake. They just renovated the golf course a couple years ago, and from when I played it to now, there's definitely a lot less trees, but they've definitely made it a lot more challenging around the greens. The green complex is bunkering. Everything out there is just completely different since the last time I played. But at the same time, Mother Nature allowed some of the scores to be a lot lower. It softened everything up. They were playing lift, clean, in place, and that's how you can attack East Lake, because those greens, since they're fairly new, they put those pins in some very awkward, kind of funky shelves. Players were allowed to attack at that first round. So we'll see as the weekend goes on, if the weather holds up and it's nice and sunny, if that place gets a little bit more baked out. I wouldn't be surprised the scores get a little bit higher.
East Lake has made some modifications. We'll talk a little bit about that here in just a moment, but it does place a premium. I remember when we were out there watching, just on accuracy, ball striking, and you've got to be patient. So what part of the player's game tested you the most really when you were out there playing?
Well, kind of like I said before they took out all the trees, it was really, you had to be very, very precise off the tee. You had to hit fairways, and if you were coming out of that rough, it was a nightmare coming into those greens, especially out of that rough in those thick trees. Now they've taken a lot of the trees out. The rough is still up, yes, but it doesn't place as big of a premium off the tee, in my opinion. I think it places an even bigger premium with your second shots coming into greens, just because the greens are that much more difficult with some of the bunkering. So that's kind of why I really like Scotty Scheffler to make a charge coming this weekend.
Professional golfer, proud OU alumnus, Stephen Campbell Jr. joining us this weekend on the Big E Sports Show. Let's talk some more about the course, because the changes that have taken place, no longer Bermuda fairways, but Zoysia. So what makes hitting from Zoysia different than playing the traditional Bermuda?
Well, yeah, it's a lot easier. And if they put Bermuda grass around those new green complexes, it would be an absolute nightmare. So it does give the players a lot more flexibility. Coming in, you can hit a lot of different shots. Zoysia is arguably, I think it's the easiest surface to chip on. Everything is almost teed up. You can put a lot of spin on it, a lot of friction on the ball coming into the greens. So I think it's made it a lot easier. With the whole Zoysia, it also makes it more fun to play, especially for the everyday member. So I was out there. I love the changes that they've made, especially around the greens and all that kind of stuff. I wish they did still keep some of the trees and kind of have a little bit more of that old school feel. Nonetheless, it's fantastic, and I'm really excited to see who comes out on top this weekend.
Did you like the front nine more than the back? I know that those finishing holes are pretty difficult, pretty challenging, especially that par 3, on 15?
Yeah, 15, and they only made it tougher. Took out the bunker on the left-hand side, so now the green's a lot smaller and a lot more condensed. So you got to sack up from 220 coming down the stretch to win the golf tournament. But to answer your first question, I like the back nine a little bit more. I think it has a little bit more character. I love the finishing stretches. 15 through 18 is one of the best finishing stretches, in my opinion, in golf, especially that second shot coming into 18 with the clubhouse as the backdrop. That's one of the game's best.
Who you got this weekend? Who do you think is going to be final guy standing?
I think Scotty, just because, it's another cliche statement, but with the accuracy that he has coming into those greens and how much Eastlake now places a premium on second shots, I really think he's going to come out on top. He's only 3 back. Haven't checked out any of the covers today, but last I know, he's only 3 back. So I really expect him to come out on top, especially with that win in Memphis.
Which stretch of holes do you think will determine who's going to be holding that trophy? You're saying it's Scotty, but
yeah, 15 through 18. I mean, you got to hit a golf shot on. You got to hit, or I'd say even starting on 14. 14's 520-yard par 4, straight down the hill. You have to hit the fairway, so that's a really good par hole. Going into 15, I mean, we're just trying to make a par there, hit it on the green somewhere. 16 and 17 with good tee shots, you can attack it a little bit. And then 18, yes, it's a birdie hole, but I really feel like the finishing stretch is really going to determine who's the champion, especially on 15.
Scotty Scheffler is your favorite. But you know what? We were talking about this earlier on the program. I mean, here he is. He's been dealing with hand, mouth, and foot disease. What concerns do you have about perhaps even his stamina? I mean, is he truly 100%? Because it's awfully been hot down there in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a challenge for him. But I heard a quote from, I forget who it was, but it was one of the great players back in the day. And he was talking about how scary it is sometimes playing against people who are sick or sometimes really, really fatigued because they're not really worried about the round of golf. They're just trying to get through it. So mentally, they've kind of checked out of the round of golf, which honestly can free you up a little bit more and make you play a little bit more carefree, which, golf's a funny game. To gain control, you have to give up control. And I don't know, but that sneaky could work in Scotty's favor. We'll see.
Professional golfer Stephen Campbell Jr. with us this weekend on the Big E Sports Show, providing some insight on the season finale. But let's be reflective. 2021 East Lake Cup, it holds a special place in your heart because you were a part of that incredible Oklahoma team that captured that collegiate win in Atlanta. What do you remember the most, Stephen, about that championship experience?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite college events. Playing on TV, friend Chris Goddard, former teammate, he's playing second time in his young career. He won that event, tied with Preston Summerhays. But no, I loved it just because I love the match play aspect of it. We played terrible as a team in stroke play. We were in dead last, and then played a number 1 seed Pepperdine and ended up winning against them. That was a lot of fun. I love match play. I love the kind of the ebbs and flows that it presents, especially on an amazing golf course like East Lake, and it's pretty fun playing on national television. So I had a great time throughout that week.
Talking about match play, it requires a different mentality from stroke play. How much were you adjusting your strategy when you went eye-to-eye, toe-to-toe with a great player in William Mao?
Yeah, I mean, good golf's going to take care of itself, and that was kind of my thing. I would say maybe coming down the stretch when I had a little bit of a lead, not necessarily playing more conservative, but I was just playing, let's say, watching a little bit more intently kind of what he's doing. So if he hit a bad shot, I'm really going to place premium on. We really don't need to attack this. We need to just put it on the center of the green, 2-putt, go to the next. So I would say coming down the stretch, you are playing against your opponent. Obviously, you are wanting to play the best possible golf you can and keep the foot on the gas. But if he does make a big time mistake, that might change your game plan just a little bit.
It's interesting. The PGA Tour announced that its season-ending structure is going to change dramatically in 2028, culminating in match play. And like you're talking about, Stephen, you're a match play kind of guy. Do you believe that match play is going to create a more compelling and deserving season champion? Do you like that?
Yeah, without question. I mean, what they did at the WGC in Austin at Austin Country Club, that provided so many fireworks, and it was a great fan interactive viewing experience. So I really like this. I've wanted these kind of changes because I felt like the tour has kind of been a little bit off in a couple of places with the season ending. But I think match play is going to be the best format just because it's going to be over 2 weeks, 32 guys, and just duking it out. And again, match play, if you make it to the Tour Championship, you have just as good of a chance as the number 32 guy as the number 1 guy because it's match play. You never know who's going to win. So match play provides a lot of drama. I think it's a perfect crescendo to end the season.
Just a moment ago, you were talking about your former teammate, Chris Goddard, and he is competing in this weekend's Tour Championship. What an outstanding season and career that he is having. How special is this to see someone you played alongside, broke bread with, he's your brother, he's, on the team, to reach the FedEx Cup finale?
Yeah, no, Chris is awesome. He was a great teammate at OU, even better person. I love just kind of cutting up with him, hanging, and he was a great team leader. Coming from Rutgers, going into OU, really enjoyed my time at OU with Chris. It also helped that we won 8 times that year, so it's been really cool to see him kind of have some big time success on the PGA Tour. It hasn't been a shock to any of us because what he's doing now, we were seeing in college. So it's really great that all his hard work and culmination is really taking place.
When Chris arrived in Norman, everybody knew about his tremendous power, but what other parts of his game and did you appreciate that, just contributed to so much success at Oklahoma?
Yeah, he was one of the best drivers of the ball I've ever seen, but also he never really hit any shots out of play with that distance. So that's really, really scary for a lot of his opponents, especially his accuracy with his long irons. It's a really, really deadly combination. And then kind of when he started working a lot with Coach Ryan Hibble, really helped culminate his wedge game, short game putting, and I really feel like that's one of the reasons why he's playing at such a high level right now.
Hey, we're winding down our time. Stephen Campbell Jr. with us this weekend on the Big E Sports Show, reliving some really cool memories and time with his former teammate and Chris Gotterup, but also Scotty Scheffler. You've had an opportunity through the years to serve at his annual College Golf Fellowship Retreat at Stonebriar Country Club over there in Dallas. What's it like to interact with Scotty just away from the PGA Tour spotlight? I mean, he's the real deal.
Yeah, Scotty's awesome. And the biggest thing that I love about that is how junior golfers look up to college players and college players look up to professionals is the same way I look up to Scotty Scheffler. We're always trying to learn, we're always trying to grow. And those same feelings that I've had in junior golf, college golf, and even starting out my professional career when it comes to nerves, navigating all these different kinds of things, that's the biggest thing he kind of tells us is it's all the same, just at a little bit of a higher magnitude. So he does a great job. I love how he's super interactive with College Golf Fellowship. That's an organization that's really helped my faith and helped me grow as a person, as a Christian. And I always look forward to going back, and I'll be back this year.
Stephen, your faith has always been central to who you are. How does your relationship with Christ, how does that give you that peace, that perspective? Because people don't understand how truly hard it is to make it or try to make it as a professional, just how it just helps you navigate this path.
Yeah, it's a hard journey, but I would say how it helps me navigate everything is it gives me a sense of peace and it gives me a sense of joy, especially throughout all the chaos. Because starting off professionally, it's been very, very chaotic. There's been a lot more downs than there's been ups, but it really helps kind of keep me grounded. Realize this is just something that I do. It's not who I am. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to go out there and live by the fruits of the Spirit, even though I mess up every single day. But it really helps keep me grounded, and also establishing a really, really great community, surrounding myself with really good, godly guys, keeping each other on the right arrow. Definitely helps me on the road and kind of navigate professionally.
You have a special community, but you also got a special tribe when it comes to partners that you have with Visor Golf and B. Dratty and Zero Restriction and Swingley. Share a little bit about that and some of the guys that have come in and to support you.
Yeah, no, Visor Golf's been a fun one just because I reached out to them because I'm a Visor guy. And yeah, like I've really loved doing stuff with them. It's a really, really fun thing. Use code SCJR to get 20% off.
There you go.
Swingley's a new one. It's good. It kind of helps me. I would say, like, for the people listening, it's $25 to subscribe, $5 per video, and I'm going to give y'all tips, tricks, insight, kind of help give back to the game and to my audience, give you a little bit more insight on my secrets, especially when it comes to the short game. That's something I'm very, very passionate about, very, very good at, humbly. So yeah, so it's only $25. Go on swingley.com, look me up, Stephen Campbell Jr. You won't regret it. It'll be fun. It'll be interactive. And then, yeah, when it comes to B. Dratty, Zero Restriction, my guy Dan Drulingers, he's been helping me out a ton. He helped me out a lot in college, signed with the NIL program with them. And then when I get status, hopefully sign a contract with them. But yeah, no, I've got a very great team around me. I've got a lot of people who are helping me, especially in this tough time in professional golf. But I know it's all going to be worth it.
Okay, as we wind down our interview, final question. We got to give a shout out to your little baby brother, Elissa Walker Campbell. He made his commitment to Georgia Tech literally 1 month ago on the 10th tee at Eastlake. Just talk about a full circle moment. And what did that mean to you as his big brother? I mean, you and Eli had a demanding summer, spent a lot of time together on two-a-days, and you've had such a huge influence.
Yeah, that was awesome. I would say kind of, after his time at Oklahoma, we really got a lot closer, especially this summer, me helping him kind of navigate the whole recruiting trail, and kind of, let me, use some of my connections that I've had with a lot of great college coaches, see if he can get the foot in the door anywhere. But no, it was awesome. Kind of him taking a leap of faith and putting all of his eggs in one basket and following Coach Hibble. And whenever Hibble called him, you don't refuse that. So it was awesome going out there and kind of watching him commit. Where I've played, East Lake's a special place to our family, and especially in my heart. I love that golf course, and gotten to see the whole campus of Georgia Tech. I really loved it. It was a great day.
Absolutely. And ATL, let's go.
Right.
Stephen, thank you so much for joining us this weekend. Continued success. We look forward to another conversation. Love you, son.
Love